Hi guys, quick video today, won't take too long, on the area of triangles. Now the previous couple of sessions we've done on sine and cosine rule, what I've tried to do is do Zoom lessons on them ones, but the uptake there wasn't great, so I'm going to go back to doing videos, and I will this week post some more videos on the sine rule and the cosine rule, so that if you didn't get a chance to turn up at the Zoom lessons last week, then you'll get a chance to see the video, and we'll go through that this week as well. This one won't take too long. As I say, very quick one. The area of triangles is what we're looking for, and it follows on from the work we've done on the sine rule and cosine rule, but it's quite straightforward. Normally, when we look at a triangle, then we look at the area of the triangle as follows. We say the area of any triangle is a half times the base times the, I put here height, we mean the perpendicular height. But the problem is, sometimes when we have a triangle like we've got here on the board, I've got the base, we could call 15 the base or 12 the base, we can choose what the base is for our triangle, but trying to get the height, if I put a line in here, a perpendicular line, the problem we have is that we don't know what this height is. So I can't use this formula, and we have to use an alternate version. So I'm just going to take that little bit off so it doesn't, it's not too confusing. And the formula that we use, slightly different here, is not half times base times height, but instead it's as follows. The area of a triangle, we can now use this for any triangle, a half AB sine C. Now it's not as difficult as it looks. What you need to remember is that we need two sides and an angle between it. We need two sides and an angle between it. If we have that, two sides and angle between it, we can use this formula. These here, the A and B, are just the two sides, either side of the angle, and then it's sine of the angle that we've got. So here, it's a really easy, simple process to find the area of a triangle. And we just do it as follows. The area is a half times one of the sides, which is 12, times the other side, which is 15, times sine of the angle in between them, which is sine 40. At this point, I'll just grab the calculator. At this point, it is just calculator work. We just turn on our calculator. A half times 12 is 6, times 15, times sin 40. I just put it all in my calculator, I press equals, and I get an area of 57.9 centimetres squared, units squared. Remember, we're finding an area. And that's it. That is it. You know, a half AB sine C. You might want to make a note of that somewhere, guys. But it is as easy as that. All you need, two sides, an angle between them, and then you put it into this formula. A half times one of the sides times the other side times sine of the angle between them. Don't forget that, it's sine of the angle between them, not just the angle. And then it's calculator work. Example 2 over here. It says find the area of the triangle below is 100 centimetres. So this time we're told what the area is. Let me make a note of that. Area is 100 and it's centimetres squared, units squared. We're looking for an area. Find the length of the side labelled x. So just like with the other one, if I was finding the area of this triangle, it's a half times one of the sides, which is 14, times the other side, which we know is x, that's what we're looking for, times sine of the angle between them, sine 55. Now this time we haven't got all this information to put in the calculator like we did for here. Here we had all the information, half times 12 times 15 times sin 40. Here we've got half times 14, which is 7, but I've got an x and sin 55, and we're looking for x. So we've got to use the information that we've got to set up an equation. What I do know is that this is the area of this triangle, if we knew what x was, but we're also told that the area is equal to 100. So I can just put this equal to 100. I'm going to simplify it a little bit. Half of 14 is 7, so I'm going to write this as 7x sin 55. But I know that 7x 55 is equal to 100 because we're told the area is 100 on this occasion. So I'm going to write 7x sin 55 equals 100. And then all I need to do is rearrange this. We've done this before in the class. We've got 7 times x times sin 55. So these two things on this side of the equation are multiplying the x. So on the other side they're going to do the opposite, they're going to divide. So I can just write x equals 100, that stays where it is, divided by 7 sin 55. So all I've done there is took the 7 and the sin 55, which is multiplying on this side, and I've took them to the other side of the equation, doing the opposite. They're now dividing down at the bottom, and that's what x is, and then I just put that in a calculator. I go 100 divided by bracket 7 times sin 55. I press equals, and I get x equals 17.4 centimetres to 1 decimal place, that to 1 dp. Remember, this one we're looking for the length of a side, so it's not centimetres squared, it's just centimetres. Final example here. I'll just move this over a little bit to make it a bit easier to see. Okay. Whoa. Right. In this final example, it just says, like the first one, it says find the area of the triangle below. But the problem is, and this is where you've just got to make sure you've got the right angles, right lengths. I've got two sides, but I haven't got the angle in between them. But I do have the other two angles here, 80 and 30. So we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So I can now put in this third angle, dead easy, it's 70 degrees. Now that I've got that 70 degrees in there, I now do have two sides and an angle. And this can be for any two sides. It doesn't have to be these two. I could have these two. If I had them two, I'd use that angle. If I have these two, I'd use the top angle. Here I've got these two, so I'm using this angle that we had to find first. And then it's just as before. Area equals a half times one of the sides, 8, times the other side, 12, times sine of the angle between them, which is 70. And then at that point, it's just calculator work. This is fairly, if you remember the formula, this is fairly straightforward work. It's mostly done on your calculator. So a half times 8 is 4, 4 times 12 times sin 70, and I get 45.1 meters squared this time. Check your units, meters squared, and that's to 1 dp. And that, guys, is that. Okay, have a go at the worksheet as before. Upload your answers onto the assignment in Teams so that I can check that you're doing it okay. And as I say, I will come back over the next couple of lessons and do a few more videos on sine rule and cosine rule so that I can make sure that everybody is up to where they need to be. Okay, thank you guys.